I stared at myself in the mirror and barely recognized the man looking back at me. The suit was perfect. The watch on my wrist was the same one Olivia gave me on our 5th anniversary, and everything around me felt like the beginning of the life I had dreamed about. "Are you nervous?" Lucas asked as he walked into the room with a huge smile. I turned around and laughed. "A little. Is that surprising?" Lucas adjusted his tie and shook his head. "Not at all. You are about to marry the woman you spent 5 years chasing. Anyone would be nervous." I smiled. "I never chased her. I just knew she was the one." Lucas laughed. "That is exactly what I mean. You looked at Olivia once and decided she was your future because she was." Lucas looked at me for a second before smiling again. "Today is your day, Ethan. Enjoy it." I nodded. "I still can't believe this is happening." "Believe it," Lucas said. "You built this life." His words made me smile because I believed him. Lucas had been beside me through everything. When I started my company, he was there. When I struggled, he encouraged me. When Olivia and I fought, he gave me advice. I trusted him more than almost anyone. A few minutes later, Grace entered the room holding a small box. "Can I come in?" she asked. I smiled. "Of course." She walked toward me and handed me the box. "What is this?" I asked. "Open it." Inside was an old photograph of our parents and me when I was younger. I looked at her and smiled. "Why are you giving me this?" "Because today is a big day," Grace said, "and I wanted you to remember where you came from." I touched the picture gently. "Mom and Dad would be proud," she said. I swallowed. "I hope so." Grace became quiet. I noticed her expression. "What happened?" "Nothing." "Grace." She looked away. "I just have a strange feeling." I laughed softly. "About what?" "About Olivia." My smile disappeared for a moment. "What do you mean?" "I don't know. Something feels different." I shook my head. "You were just nervous because your brother is getting married." "No, Ethan. I know you. You always see the best in people. Is that a bad thing?" "No," she said quietly. "But sometimes people take advantage of that." I looked at her seriously. "Grace, Olivia loves me." "I hope she does." The way she said it bothered me. "Why did you say it like that?" She sighed. "Forget it. I don't want to ruin your day." I walked closer to her. "Grace, if something is wrong, tell me." She looked into my eyes. "I don't have proof. I just want you to be careful." I smiled and hugged her. "You worry too much." "Maybe," she whispered. After she left, I checked my phone. There were dozens of messages from friends and family. Everyone was excited. Everyone was celebrating. Everyone believed today would be perfect. Then my phone vibrated again. Unknown number. I opened the message. 3 words appeared on the screen. "Don't marry her." My smile slowly disappeared. I stared at those words, waiting for my mind to understand them. "Who sent this?" I whispered. Before I could think, another message arrived. This time, there was an image attached. I opened it. My heart stopped. It was Olivia, and she was holding another man's hand. I stared at the picture again and again, hoping my eyes were making a mistake. "No," I whispered. "This can't be real." My hands felt cold as I zoomed in on the image. Olivia was standing outside a restaurant. Her face was visible. The man beside her was close. Too close. I immediately called her. The phone rang. Once. Twice. 3 times. No answer. I ended the call and tried again. Still nothing. "Come on, Olivia," I whispered. "Pick up." The door opened, and Lucas walked back inside. "Everything okay?" he asked. I quickly locked my phone. "Yeah." Lucas looked at me carefully. "You don't look okay." "I'm just stressed." He smiled. "Wedding nerves?" "Yeah, something like that." Lucas walked closer. "Ethan, listen to me. Today is not the day to overthink." I looked at him. "What do you mean?" "You have spent years building this moment. Don't let fear ruin it." His words sounded comforting, but something inside me felt heavy. "I know." Lucas placed his hand on my shoulder. "Trust Olivia." That sentence hit me strangely. "Why did you say that?" He looked confused. "What?" "Nothing." A few minutes later, Grace returned. "Ethan, Olivia is ready to talk before the ceremony." My heart started beating faster. "Where is she?" "Outside near the garden." I nodded. "I'll go." As I walked toward the garden, I kept looking at the picture on my phone. I wanted to believe it was fake. I wanted to believe someone was trying to destroy my happiness. But why did Olivia not answer? Why did Grace already feel something was wrong? Why did that message arrive today? I reached the garden entrance. I saw Olivia standing near the flowers. For a moment, everything felt normal. She was wearing the dress I always imagined seeing her in. "Ethan," she said with a smile. "You came." I looked at her. "Olivia, I need to ask you something." Her smile slowly faded. "What happened?" I pulled out my phone. "Do you know this man?" Her face changed. Only for a second, but I saw it. She looked away. "Ethan, please answer me." She stayed silent. My chest felt tight. "Who is he?" Before she could reply, a voice interrupted us. "Ethan." I turned around. It was Daniel, Olivia's brother. His expression was serious. "Can I speak with you?" I looked between him and Olivia. "Why?" Daniel glanced at Olivia. "Because you need to know something." Olivia looked scared. "Daniel, don't." My heart sank. "Don't what?" Nobody answered. I stepped back. "What is happening?" Daniel took a breath. "Ethan, there are things about today that you don't know." I looked at Olivia. "Is this true?" Her eyes filled with tears. I wanted to explain, then explain. She opened her mouth. But before she could speak, my phone vibrated again. Another message. I looked down. This time, it was not from the unknown number. It was from Nathan Reed, the investigator I had contacted only minutes earlier. The message contained one sentence. "You need to see this before you marry her." My hand shook. I looked at Olivia, then at Daniel, then back at my phone. The woman I was supposed to marry in less than an hour might be hiding the biggest secret of my life. I took a deep breath. "Olivia," I said quietly, "before I walk down that aisle, I need the truth." She looked at me with tears in her eyes. "Ethan," but before she could finish, I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around. The person who had been standing nearby was gone. And suddenly, I realized the truth was not waiting for me at the altar. It was running away from me. The wedding hall was still full of people when I made my decision. I could see the questions in everyone's eyes. Why is the ceremony delayed? What happened? Is everything okay? I ignored the whispers and walked back into the room where Olivia was waiting. She looked at me with worried eyes. "Ethan, please talk to me." I closed the door behind me. "I need answers." Her face became pale. "About what?" I stared at her. "Don't do that, Olivia." "Do what?" "Pretend you don't know." She looked down. I took out my phone and showed her the picture. Her silence hurt more than any words. "Who is he?" "Ethan, who is he?" She took a deep breath. "I can explain." "Then explain." She sat down slowly. "It is not what you think." I laughed quietly, but there was no happiness in it. That is the first thing people say when they're hiding something. Her eyes filled with tears. "You don't trust me?" I looked at her. "I trusted you enough to spend 5 years building a future with you. Then trust me now." "I want to." I paused. "But something is stopping me." She looked away. "Nothing happened between us." "Then why were you with him?" "I can't answer that right now." Those words felt like another wound. "You can't answer?" "Ethan, please." "Not here. Not today." I stepped back. Today was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. It still can be. I shook my head. "Not until I know the truth." I walked outside before I said something I would regret. Grace was waiting near the hallway. "Did she tell you?" I looked at my sister. "No." Grace sighed. "I knew something was wrong." "How long have you felt this way?" "A few weeks." I looked at her in shock. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I didn't have proof." I lowered my voice. "I need the truth, Grace." She nodded. "Then stop protecting everyone else and start protecting yourself." Her words stayed in my mind. A few minutes later, Daniel found me. "Ethan." I turned around. "Do you know something?" He looked uncomfortable. "I know my family has made mistakes." "What mistakes?" Daniel looked around before speaking. "Not here." "Then where?" "Somewhere private." I followed him outside. He looked exhausted. "My family has been under pressure for months." "Pressure from who?" "From my mother." "From expectations." "From money." I frowned. What does that have to do with Olivia? Daniel stayed quiet. That silence answered enough. "Daniel, tell me the truth." He looked at me. "I think Olivia has been scared." "Scared of what?" "Losing the lifestyle she wanted." I felt my chest tighten. "Are you saying she chose money over me?" "I am saying you need to find the truth yourself." I looked at my phone. The unknown messages. The picture. Olivia's reaction. Everything was becoming impossible to ignore. I called the number of a private investigator I had found earlier. When he answered, his voice was calm. Nathan Reed speaking. My name is Ethan Carter. I need help. What kind of help? I need someone to find the truth about someone close to me. There was a short silence. How soon do you need answers? Yesterday. Nathan's voice became serious. Send me everything you have. I will. Mr. Carter, one question. What? Are you ready for whatever I find? I looked through the glass window at Olivia, the woman I plan to marry. I don't know. I swallowed. But I need to know. After I ended the call, I realized something painful. For the first time in 5 years, I was afraid of the truth. I spent the next few hours pretending everything was normal. I told my guests the wedding was postponed because of a family issue. I told myself I was protecting Olivia. But deep inside, I knew I was protecting myself from the truth. While I returned home that night, I sat alone in the living room and looked at the pictures from the last 5 years. Olivia and me on our first trip. Olivia and me celebrating my company's first success. Olivia holding my hand when I lost my father. I whispered, were all those moments real? My phone rang. It was Nathan. I answered immediately. Did you find something? I started looking into the information you gave me. And there are things you should know. My heart sank. Tell me. Before I explain, I need to ask you something. What? Do you know Lucas Bennett's relationship with Olivia? I became silent. What are you talking about? I found several meetings between them. I stood up. Meetings? Yes, private meetings. That doesn't mean anything. I wanted to believe my own words. Nathan continued. I agree. Meetings alone prove nothing. Then why mention them? Because they were hidden from you. I closed my eyes. Where did they meet? Different places. A coffee shop. A hotel restaurant. A business office. My hands tightened around my phone. A hotel. Yes. I felt anger rising inside me. No, Lucas wouldn't do that. Mr. Carter, I'm not accusing anyone. I'm showing you what I found. I walked around the room. How long? Several months. Months. That word hurt more than anything. I remembered every conversation with Lucas. Every time he told me Olivia loved me. Every time he told me I was lucky. I whispered. He was helping me. Nathan paused. I don't know yet. But you think he was lying. I think you should prepare yourself. After the call ended, I sat down. My mind replayed every memory, every smile, every promise, every moment I trusted them. The worst part was not the picture. It was realizing I might have been the only person who didn't know what was happening. The next morning, Grace came to my apartment. Ethan, who didn't answer my calls. I needed time. She looked at me carefully. You found something? I nodded. Maybe. What does that mean? Lucas has been meeting Olivia. Grace's face changed. I knew it. I looked at her. You knew. Not exactly. But I noticed things. Like what? Lucas always defended Olivia too quickly. I stayed quiet. Why didn't you tell me? Because I thought I was wrong. I looked away. I trusted him. Grace sat beside me. I know. 5 years, Grace. I know. I defended him. I know. Her voice softened. Ethan, don't blame yourself for trusting people. I looked at her. Then who do I blame? She didn't answer. Because we both knew. A week passed. Nathan continued investigating. Then one evening, he arrived at my door holding a small folder. His expression was different. Ethan, I found something. I opened the door wider. What is it? Nathan walked inside. I found security footage. My heartbeat increased. From where? From one of the places where Lucas and Olivia met. I looked at the folder. Why are you showing me this now? Because I needed to confirm it before hurting you with the truth. I swallowed. Nathan, he placed the folder on the table. You need to watch this. I opened it slowly. The first image appeared, and there they were. Olivia, Lucas, together. Not by accident. Not once, but many times. My entire body went cold. Nathan looked at me. Ethan, they've been lying to you for much longer than you imagined. I stared at the security footage Nathan placed in front of me. I wanted to look away. I wanted to believe there was another explanation. But I couldn't. Lucas and Olivia were not strangers meeting by accident. They were comfortable. They were familiar. They were hiding something from me. I looked at Nathan. How long have you known? I suspected something 2 days ago, Nathan said. But I needed proof before telling you. I closed the folder. What else did you find? Nathan hesitated. Ethan, this is bigger than Olivia and Lucas. My eyes narrowed. What do you mean? I check your business records. My business? Yes. I stood up. Why? Because Lucas appeared in places he shouldn't have been. My stomach tightened. Explain. Nathan opened another file. Several months ago, some of your private business plans were leaked before important meetings. I looked at the papers. I remember. You blamed outside competition. Yes. Nathan looked at me. It wasn't outside competition. The room became silent. Who was it? Nathan took a breath. Lucas. I shook my head. No. Ethan. No. Lucas would never do that. Nathan pushed a document toward me. These files were accessed using information only you and Lucas had. I looked down. My hand started shaking. Ow! Because you trusted him. That sentence hurt. I sat down slowly. Why would he do this? Nathan answered carefully. To make himself valuable. I looked at him. What does that mean? Lucas used your ideas, your contacts, and your information to impress investors. He wanted them to see him as the person behind your success. I laughed quietly. A painful laugh. He was my best friend. Nathan stayed silent. I looked at the pictures again. 5 years of friendship. 5 years of trust. All of it felt different now. My phone rang. It was Olivia. I stared at her name. Nathan asked, Are you going to answer? I pressed the button. Hello, Ethan. Her voice sounded broken. What do you want? I need to talk to you. You had your chance. I know. Then why didn't you tell me the truth? There was silence. Finally, she whispered, because I was scared. Scared of what? Everything. I closed my eyes. Olivia, I need honesty now. I made mistakes. Did you love me? The silence was longer this time. I did. She started crying. Ethan, answer me. I still care about you. I felt a sharp pain inside. But you chose him. I didn't know what to do. You could have told me. I was afraid. Afraid of what? She took a shaky breath. Lucas kept telling me your career would fail. He said you were too trusting. He said I would regret choosing you. I looked at Nathan. My anger grew, but I stayed quiet. And you believed him? I started believing the things he said. Why? Because my mother kept telling me that love was not enough. I felt my heart sink. Your mother. She thought Lucas could give me a better future. I remembered Margaret's perfect smile, her polite words, her hidden judgment. Olivia, did your mother know? Another silence. Yes. I closed my eyes. Everything I believed was breaking apart. Thank you for finally telling me. Ethan, please. I need time. Can we fix this? I looked at the wedding decorations still sitting in my apartment. The future I planned. The future that no longer existed. I don't know. I ended the call. For the first time in days, I didn't feel the need to scream. I only felt tired. Very tired. The next morning, I made a decision. I called the wedding planner. Ethan, is everything okay? She asked. Yes. I need to cancel the wedding. There was a long pause. Cancel? Yes. Are you sure? I looked around my apartment. The flowers. The invitations. The plans Olivia and I created together. Yes. Cancel everything. Do you want me to explain anything to the guests? No. But people will ask questions. I took a deep breath. Let them. After the call ended, I felt strangely calm. I expected anger. I expected the need to expose everyone. But I didn't want a public fight. I didn't want people choosing sides. I didn't want my pain to become entertainment. When Grace came over, she immediately noticed something was different. You canceled it. I nodded. Yes. She sat down beside me. Are you okay? No. I looked at my hands. But I will be. Grace smiled sadly. That sounds more like you. What do you mean? You always solve problems quietly. I looked away. This time I don't know if I can solve it. Ethan, you don't need to fix everything today. I nodded. For the first time, I allowed myself to accept that I was hurt. A few hours later, my phone rang. A woman introduced herself. Hello. Is this Ethan Carter? Yes. Who is this? My name is Sophia Miller. I am an investigative journalist. I became cautious. Why are you calling me? I have been researching Lucas Bennett's business activities. My expression changed. What about him? I believe he's been involved in financial fraud. I stayed silent. Sophia, Why are you telling me this? Because your company appears connected to some of his actions. My heart sank. What kind of actions? Manipulated investments, hidden agreements, false information provided to investors. I walked toward the window. I already know he betrayed me personally. Sophia paused. What do you mean? I looked at the wedding ring in my hand. Lucas was my friend, and he was also involved with my fiancée. There was silence. I'm sorry, Ethan. Don't be. How can you say that? Because I need facts, not sympathy. Sophia became quiet. I think we can help each other. How? I have information about Lucas. You have access to details about his connection with your business. I thought about it. A few days ago, I wanted revenge. I wanted Lucas to feel the same pain I felt. But now I understood something. Anger would not bring my life back. Only the truth could. Okay, I said. Okay. I'll help you. Are you sure? Yes. I looked at the city outside. My goal is not revenge. Then what is your goal? I answered honestly. To make sure he cannot hurt anyone else. After the call ended, Nathan arrived with more documents. You look different, he said. I looked at him. What do you mean? Before, you looked like someone who lost everything. And now you look like someone who is preparing to rebuild. I smiled slightly. Maybe I am. Nathan placed the documents on the table. Ethan, this will not be easy. I know. You may lose more. I already lost the life I thought I had. I looked at the files. But I won't lose myself. For the first time since receiving that message, I felt something stronger than pain. I felt purpose. The betrayal was real. The damage was real. But this was no longer just about a broken heart. This was about exposing the truth. I stopped looking at what I had lost and started focusing on what I could rebuild. Every morning, I woke up early, went to my office, and worked harder than I ever had before. My company was damaged because of Lucas, but it was not destroyed. I refused to let his betrayal become the ending of my story. One evening, Nathan came into my office with a folder. Ethan, I found something important. I looked up from my computer. About Lucas? Nathan nodded. Yes. I closed my laptop. What did you find? Lucas has been moving money between different accounts. How much? Enough to make investors suspicious. I leaned back. Can you prove it? Not yet. I nodded. Then we keep looking. Nathan looked at me carefully. You are calmer now. I am. Ow! I looked at the documents on my desk. Because anger won't fix anything. Nathan smiled slightly. That is different from the man I met weeks ago. The man you met was hurt. And now I am focused. A few days later, Sophia joined us in my office. She placed several documents on the table. I found more connections. I looked through the papers. What kind? Lucas promised investors things he could not deliver. Why? Because he wanted control. I shook my head. He always wanted to be respected. Sophia looked at me. And he thought using your success was the fastest way. I stayed silent. It still hurt hearing those words. Sophia noticed. Ethan, you don't have to pretend this doesn't affect you. I know. Then why do you hide it? I looked at her. Because I don't want my pain to control my decisions. Sophia nodded. That is probably why you will win. I smiled slightly. I'm not trying to win. What are you trying to do? Protect what I built. Meanwhile, my business slowly started recovering. I met new clients. I repaired damaged relationships. I spent more time with Grace. One night, she looked at me and smiled. You seem different. Different how? Stronger. I laughed softly. I don't feel strong. Maybe strength doesn't always feel powerful. I looked at her. What does it feel like? Sometimes it feels like getting up when you don't want to. Her words stayed with me. But while I was rebuilding, Lucas was falling apart. Nathan showed me messages proving Lucas was becoming careless. He is pressuring investors now, Nathan said. Because he is scared. Exactly. I looked at the messages. People like Lucas always think they can control everything. Sophia nodded. Until they can't. A week later, Daniel called me. Ethan, I need to talk. His voice sounded serious. About what? My family. I became quiet. Is everything okay? No. Daniel? I found out more about what happened. I waited. My mother knew about Lucas using your information. My hands tightened. She knew. Yes. And Olivia? She knew some things. Not everything. I looked away. Why are you telling me this? Because I was silent before. Daniel paused. And I regret it. I took a deep breath. Daniel, your family made choices. You don't have to carry all of that. I know. Then why help me? Because you deserved honesty from the beginning. For the first time, I understood that not everyone connected to the betrayal was against me. Some people were just afraid, and some people were finally choosing the truth. A few days after my conversation with Daniel, I received another call. I looked at the screen. Olivia. I stared at her name for several seconds before answering. Hello, Ethan. Her voice sounded quiet. What do you want? I just want to talk. I don't think we have anything left to say. Please, just 5 minutes. I closed my eyes. Olivia, apologies don't erase what happened. I know. Do you? There was silence. I made mistakes. You made choices. Her breathing became shaky. I was confused. I was hurt. Ethan, I never wanted to destroy you. I looked at the documents on my desk. But you did. I know. Then why are you calling? Because I finally understand the truth. I stayed silent. Lucas never loved me. Those words surprised me. What changed? I started seeing who he really was. I listened. He only cared about your connections, your business, your success. I looked down. And you? I was foolish. I didn't answer. Ethan, I know I don't deserve forgiveness. No. She became quiet. But I wanted you to know that I am sorry. I took a deep breath. Olivia, I hope you find peace. Is that all? Yes. Ethan, I can't go back. The call ended. It hurt, but it also felt like closing a door that had been open for too long. The next morning, Nathan called me. Ethan, we have a problem. My heart immediately became alert. What happened? Robert Hayes reviewed some financial reports. The investor? Yes. What did he find? Several numbers don't match. I stood up. Meaning Lucas may have changed information before presenting it. I walked toward the window. Can Robert confirm it? He already contacted his legal team. I nodded. Then Lucas is running out of time. Nathan became quiet. Ethan, are you feeling satisfied? I thought about it. No. Really, no. Why? Because watching someone fail doesn't heal what they broke. Nathan was silent. Then what do you feel? I answered honestly. Relief. That night, I met Sophia again. She placed her notebook on the table. You know what is interesting? What? Lucas thought he was smarter than everyone. I smiled slightly. That sounds like him. But his confidence made him careless. And careless people leave evidence. Exactly. I looked at the information we collected. For weeks, I wanted revenge. I wanted Lucas to feel pain. But now I understood something. The truth was stronger than revenge. The truth didn't need anger. It only needed time. A few days later, I received another message from Olivia. Please meet me. I looked at it, but didn't respond. Grace noticed. Are you ignoring her? Yes. Do you hate her? I thought about the question. No. Then why won't you talk? Because some wounds need distance before they can heal. Grace nodded. I understand. I looked outside. For the first time in months, I wasn't thinking about what Lucas took from me. I was thinking about what I was building. My life. My future. My peace. Lucas thought he had won when he broke me. He didn't realize he was only removing the person who trusted him blindly. And while I was rebuilding myself, his own choices were beginning to destroy everything he created. Karma had started moving, and I didn't need to push it. 6 months had passed since the day my wedding was canceled. My life had changed completely. I no longer woke up thinking about betrayal. I no longer searched for answers from people who had already shown me the truth. I focused on my work, my family, and rebuilding the trust one lost. Then one morning, Sophia called me. Ethan, have you seen the news? I looked at my phone. No. Why? Lucas is hosting a huge engagement celebration tonight. I frowned. With Olivia? Yes. I stayed quiet. Sophia continued. He is inviting investors, business partners, and important people. I laughed softly. Of course he is. What do you mean? Lucas always cared about appearances. Sophia sighed. Ethan, he is trying to prove something. That he won. Exactly. I looked outside my office window. Let him believe that. You're not angry? I was angry for months. And now I know the truth. Sophia became quiet. Are you going tonight? I shook my head. No. Ethan, you should know what happens. I already know enough. After ending the call, I returned to work. But later that evening, Nathan called. Ethan, something is happening. I answered immediately. What happened? The investigators are moving. I stood up. Tonight? Yes. Why tonight? Because Lucas gathered everyone important in one place. I understood. He wanted to show everyone he was successful. And now everyone will see who he really is. I took a deep breath. Nathan, are you sure? We have enough evidence. I sat down. For months, I imagined this moment. I imagined confronting Lucas. I imagined watching him lose everything. But now that it was happening, I felt something unexpected. Nothing. No happiness. No excitement. Only relief. A few hours later, Nathan called again. It's done. I looked at my phone. What happened? The investigators entered the event. I stayed silent. Lucas tried to stop them. What did they show? Financial records. Hidden transfers. False reports. I closed my eyes. And the investors? They walked away. I leaned back. Robert. He confirmed everything. Robert Hayes had once trusted Lucas. Now he had proof that Lucas manipulated the information given to investors. What did Robert say? Nathan replied. He said he was ashamed that he believed him. I looked at the floor. Many people believed him. Because he was good at pretending. That night, Grace came to my apartment. She looked at me carefully. You heard what happened? I nodded. Yes. How do you feel? I thought for a moment. Different. Different how? I thought seeing Lucas fall would make me happy. And it didn't. Grace sat beside me. Why? Because losing him was never the thing I needed. What did you need? I looked at my hands. I needed to know I wasn't crazy for trusting him. Grace smiled sadly. You weren't. I looked at her. I spent years believing I was the problem. You were not. I ignored signs. Because you loved people. I stayed quiet. Grace continued. Ethan, surviving betrayal, is not about destroying the person who hurt you. Then what is it about? It's about proving they didn't change who you are. Her words stayed with me. I thought about Lucas, about Olivia, about everything they did, and I realized something. They took my trust. They took my old dreams, but they did not take my values. For the first time, I understood that was my victory. The next morning, the story was everywhere. News reports, business articles, social media. Everyone was talking about Lucas Bennett. But for the first time, I did not care about his name being destroyed. I cared about moving forward. Nathan came to my office with a serious expression. Ethan, there is one more thing. I looked up. What happened? Olivia contacted me. I became quiet. What? She wants to speak with you. I looked away. What did she say? She said she finally understands everything. I sighed. I don't know if I want to hear it. Nathan nodded. You don't have to. I know. Then why do you look conflicted? I thought about it. Because a part of me still remembers who she was before all of this. Nathan understood. That is normal. I loved her. I know. But I can't forget what happened. You shouldn't. Later that day, I agreed to meet Olivia one last time. When I arrived, she looked completely different. Not because of her appearance. Because of the sadness in her eyes. Ethan. I sat down. Olivia. She looked at me. I don't know where to start. Start with the truth. She nodded. I made the biggest mistake of my life. I stayed silent. I thought Lucas could give me the future I wanted. And now I know he never cared about me. I looked at her. Why did it take so long? She lowered her eyes. Because I was selfish. That answer surprised me. I wanted comfort. I wanted security. I wanted things I thought you couldn't provide. And what did you lose? She looked at me. Someone who truly loved me. I didn't respond. Ethan, I know sorry is not enough. No, I know I destroyed something valuable. Yes. Tears appeared in her eyes. Do you hate me? I thought about it. No. She looked surprised. Why? Because hate would keep me connected to you. She became quiet. I don't want that anymore. I stood up. I hope you find a better person in yourself. Can we ever be friends? I shook my head. Some endings need to stay endings. She nodded slowly. I understand. When I left, I didn't feel happiness. I didn't feel revenge. I only felt free. A week later, I met Grace for dinner. She smiled when she saw me. You seem peaceful. I am. Really? Yes. She looked curious. After everything, I nodded. I learned something. What? The people who hurt me already lost something important. What did they lose? The chance to have someone loyal beside them. Grace smiled. And what did you gain? I looked outside. Myself. She raised her glass. To new beginnings. I smiled. To new beginnings. Months ago, I thought my life ended when my wedding was canceled. I thought that message destroyed my future. But now I understood something. That message saved me. It showed me the truth before I promised my entire life to people who were hiding theirs. Lucas wanted to prove he won. Olivia wanted to believe she chose the better path. Margaret wanted a perfect image. But none of them understood what I learned. A person does not win by destroying others. A person wins by surviving without becoming like them. I lost a wedding. I lost a friendship. I lost the future I imagined. But I kept my honesty. And in the end, that was worth more than everything they took from me. Almost 1 year had passed since the day my wedding was canceled. When I look back, I barely recognized the person I was before everything happened. I was no longer the man who trusted without questioning. I was no longer the man who ignored his own feelings just to keep everyone happy. I had learned. I had changed. My company was stronger than ever. The damage Lucas caused was repaired slowly, one honest decision at a time. One morning, Sophia walked into my office carrying 2 cups of coffee. I brought your favorite. I smiled. You remembered? She looked offended. Ethan, after everything we went through, you think I don't remember your coffee order? I laughed. Fair point. She placed a cup on my desk. You look busy. I am. That is good. I looked at her. Why? Because months ago, you were busy trying to understand why people hurt you. I became quiet. And now you are busy building your future. Her words made me smile. Sophia had been beside me during the hardest time of my life. She never judged me. She never told me to forget my pain. She simply helped me face the truth. I want to thank you, I said. She looked surprised. For what? For staying. Sophia smiled softly. You don't have to thank me for being a friend. I looked away for a moment. A lot of people left. I know, but you didn't. She nodded. Because I knew you were worth supporting. I didn't know how to respond. Trust had become difficult for me. But with Sophia, it felt different. It felt natural. That evening, I received a message. Olivia wanted to meet. I stared at the screen. For months, I avoided every conversation. But something inside me said it was time. When I met her, she looked nervous. Ethan, Olivia, we sat across from each other. For a few seconds, neither of us spoke. Finally, she said, thank you for meeting me. I thought we should talk once. She nodded. I owe you an apology. I looked at her. An apology won't change what happened. I know. Then why? Because I need to say it. I stayed silent. She took a deep breath. I was afraid. Afraid of what? Losing the future, I imagined. I frowned. You mean money? She looked down. Yes. Her honesty surprised me. I thought love was not enough. And now I know I was wrong. I listened quietly. Lucas made promises. My mother supported him. I convinced myself I was making the smart choice. And you forgot about me. Tears appeared in her eyes. Yes. I looked away. That answer hurt. But it was the truth. Ethan, I destroyed something beautiful because I was scared. I nodded slowly. You did. I don't expect you to forgive me. I looked at her. Why? Because I don't deserve it. I thought about everything. The wedding. The betrayal. The pain. Then I realized something. Forgiveness was not about giving her another chance. It was about freeing myself from the anger I carried for too long. Olivia. She looked at me. I forgive you. Her eyes widened. You do? Yes. Why? Because I don't want to spend my life carrying hatred. She wiped her tears. But does that mean? No. She became quiet. It doesn't mean we go back. She nodded. I understand. For the first time, our goodbye felt peaceful. Not because the past disappeared, but because I finally stopped letting it control me. A few weeks after my conversation with Olivia, I met Daniel for lunch. He looked different, calmer, more confident. You seem happier, I said. Daniel smiled. I'm trying to be. How is your family? He sighed. Not perfect. I didn't expect it to be. But things are changing. I nodded. How? I finally stopped protecting mistakes just because they belong to my family. I respected that. That takes courage. He smiled. I learned that from you. I looked surprised. From me? Yes. I laughed softly. I spent months feeling broken, and you still chose to do the right thing. I looked down. Daniel continued. I'm trying to repair the damage my family caused. Can you? I don't know. He paused. But I have to try. I nodded. Some people could not erase the past, but they could choose what they did next. Later that month, I received another update from Nathan. Ethan, the court reached a decision. I answered immediately. About Lucas? Yes. I waited. He was convicted. I closed my eyes. After everything, those words felt strangely quiet. Not exciting. Not satisfying. Just final. What about Margaret? Nate's insight. Her reputation collapsed. Many people stopped trusting her after the truth came out. I nodded. And Lucas? He lost everything he built on lies. I looked outside my office window. For a moment, I remembered the old days. The friendship, the promises, the trust. Then I remembered the truth. Not everyone who smiles at you is standing beside you. Some people are only waiting for a chance to use you. That evening, I opened my old phone. I searched through my messages. There it was. The first message that changed everything. 3 simple words. Don't marry her. I stared at it for a long time. Almost a year ago, those words felt like the end of my happiness. Now, they felt like the beginning of my survival. I deleted the message. Before pressing the button, I whispered, thank you. Not to the person who sent it, but to the moment that saved me. I thought about the wedding day, the flowers, the guests, the promise I almost made. I was ready to say, I do. I was ready to build a life on a foundation that was already broken. But fate stopped me before I made the biggest mistake of my life. The wedding was ready. My heart was ready. But the truth arrived first. A year later, I stood in the same city where my old life fell apart. But I was not the same man. I had stronger relationships, a stronger career, a stronger understanding of myself. Sophia became someone I trusted completely. Grace remained my strongest support. Daniel chose honesty over silence. And I finally learned that losing people who lie to you is not always a loss. Sometimes it is freedom. I used to think revenge meant watching the people who hurt me suffer. Now I knew better. The greatest revenge was becoming someone they could never control. I walked away from betrayal. I walked away from anger. I walked away from the life I thought I wanted. And I found something better. Peace. I smiled as I looked at the empty screen where the message once existed. One message changed my life. It broke my heart, but also saved it. And for the first time in a long time, I was finally free.